Welcome back. I'm Broward County Commissioner Stacy Ritter here with the Broward Sheriff, Al Lamberti. Broward Sheriff's Office Sheriff doesn't make any sense. You are the Sheriff of Broward County. You are the one and only Sheriff of Broward County, Al Lamberti. Is that Albert, Alphonse, Alfonso?
It's actually Alfred.
Oh, Alfred.
And I was named after my father and my grandfather.
Okay. So you learned something about the sheriff today. You got a middle name?
Thomas.
Alfred Thomas Lamberti. ATL.
ATL.
Those are good.
Like Atlanta.
Like Atlanta. ATL. Okay. Alfred Thomas Lamberti.
That's it.
Okay. So you're a junior?
I'm the third, and I'm not giving you my social security number.
Just the last four digits.
The last four digits.
So we're here at the Tamarack Diner
Blood type.
on the corner of McNabb Road and Nob Hill Road in Tamarack, and we have a live audience today. We've done a couple segments where just the sheriff and I spoke, and then we did one segment where we had some questions. We're going to do one more with some more questions. So, who's next? Who's the next lucky contestant?
David has a question.
On Southgate Boulevard between 441 and University Drive, the speed limit changes 3 times. Who sets the speed limits for roads in the state of Florida or in Broward County?
Okay, David wants to know who sets the speed limits on the road. You know, right? You are right about Southgate between 441 and University. I have been stopped there because many years ago, I took care of it. Statute of limitations passed, he was wrong, but he was probably right. The cop, but the police officer. You prefer police officer, cop? What do you prefer?
Well, for us, it's deputy sheriff.
Oh, okay.
So if it's city, it's police officer.
Well, the deputy sheriff or the police. I don't know. Who's Margie?
Margaret's police officer.
Okay, the police officer. It does. The speed limit changes there, and you don't even realize it. So Dave wants to know who sets the speed limits on the roads.
Well, pretty much Broward County Traffic Engineering looks at. Yes, that would be you. Looks at it, but you know, in the state of Florida, it's normally 35 miles an hour. If it's not posted, then it's 35 miles an hour, and then you start from there. If the road can handle a higher speed, you do it. But pretty much, Broward County Traffic Engineering sets the speed limits.
So I guess the next question is why we would do it 3 times, and I will find that out for you, David. But but you know, that interesting follow-up to that. I am convinced that you could go faster on University Drive than the posted speed limit.
Call your county commissioner.
Call my county commissioner? Yeah, she won't answer the phone. Why don't you call me then? But seriously, and you know how I know that? Because I've seen people in cars with sirens go faster on University Drive.
Well, and another thing too, you know, there's 3 different kinds of roads that we have. Local streets, which are overseen by the city. Then we have county roads. We have state roads, like 441 is a state road, but it's also a federal road. So there's 4 if you count like I-95, I-75. The Turnpike's a state road. 441 is a state road. So there's so many jurisdictions. Again, cities have jurisdiction over city streets, county, state, and federal. So it's a complicated question, but for the most part, Broward County Traffic Engineering, the Florida Department of Transportation are the 2 agencies that oversee that.
But Dave, we'll find out about that. I know, because I've been there. It's a pain. I don't know who that is in the back. I can only see the top, the hat. I can only see your hat.
Stand up.
He is standing.
He's standing now. You people are brutal.
Bike trails on Nob Hill Road. That's a problem. Nob Hill Road, 77th Street. What are we doing with these traffic lights? And the traffic, the bikes, and the
That's a
cars
traffic
and
light
all
question.
that.
Something about bike trails?
Yes.
The bike trail now on Nob Hill Road, and we got the same problem with the traffic like at 77th Street, 71st Street, where we have a major amount of accidents occurring. Now we add to that mixture, the bikes.
You're talking about, right, 77th Street, there's no light. Are you talking about where they're...
The turn signal.
The turn signal. Oh, yeah, you know what? Yes. And the turn, right, I know there's no turn signal at 77th and 71st, and I will tell you that is a Broward County traffic engineering issue. We have studied it most recently, even since I've become a county commissioner, and the traffic there just doesn't warrant a signal. We have certain rules that we follow with respect to traffic and the number of trips And we follow regulations that have been promulgated by the U.S. Department of Transportation. I can only tell you that if you want to change it, we've got to change the regulations of the U.S. Department of Transportation. Call your member of Congress. We've tried to work on it not only for this, but for the VA hospital, where they're trying to put a light up to stop traffic so people can cross, and there's just not enough trips. So lobby your members of help us help you and lobby your members of Congress. I can hear you if you stand up.
It's maybe a stupid question, but
There are no stupid
in other
questions.
words, I have sun pass, so I'm sure a lot of other people have. But every time you go through the sun pass lane, it says 25 miles per hour. Now, nobody stops or slows down at 25 miles an hour. They just shoot right through the sun pass. Now, can you get a ticket for that?
Okay, so sun pass lanes, when you're traveling, like on the turnpike,
Yeah, anywhere there's a sun
right, Sawgrass, they're 25 miles per hour in the sun pass lanes, and you are suggesting that people don't slow to 25?
have a sun pass.
And, so can you get a ticket for that?
Well, it's there for a safety reason. Obviously, you want you to slow down. Theoretically, you could get a ticket for that because it is a posted speed limit. However, does it happen? Do we have enough resources to police that? No, but it's just a safety suggestion. I mean, if you don't do it, you're jeopardizing your own safety. But theoretically, the question technically, sure, you could get a ticket for that because it's a posted
Because
speed
you
limit.
have cameras.
Well, sure you can. In fact, when I was in the legislature, I had an aide of mine. She actually got a ticket through that because she didn't slow down. So I know you can.
Yep.
The question is, should you? Should you really? I mean, isn't the idea of the sun pass to get us to keep moving at the speed limit? But that's, he's not gonna. He's the sheriff. He's gonna tell you to go the speed limit. If it's posted, you're supposed to drive it.
And we don't have enough resources to be able to handle every possible problem.
Do not ask me for more money. It's not happening. It's not happening. We'll work on next year.
We'll talk off camera.
We'll talk on camera. Any more? No? One more? Oh, another one, Selma, really? Yes, please.
Between University and Southgate, going back to that spot, we were about a block and a half off, approaching State Road 7. And there was a police car and a motorcyclist. They were parked in the street. And this cop was in the middle and she's pulling over. She pulled over 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah.
I wasn't driving because I go through the speed limit.
Right. Selma only drives the speed, like everyone else.
But my friend got a ticket for
Okay.
$255.
Oh my gosh. So you were driving and the police officer was
He
standing.
said, didn't you see all the 3 signs?
Standing and waved you over
Where?
waved the driver over the side. Okay, so what your question is, can they do that or what?
I mean,
Now, obviously
is
they
that a
can.
trap? Is that a
Is that
trap?
oh, is that a trap?
Well, it was probably a deputy running radar, but here's our dilemma. We've heard a lot of traffic questions, and it's almost like we're caught in the middle. People want us to enforce it, but when we enforce it, then people get mad. So it's a dilemma that we try to do, and again, we try to balance it and give people warnings if it's warranted, because we don't want to penalize anybody financially, but we want to change behavior, and that's what we try to do. But sometimes we're stuck in the middle. We get complaints from the community. You should enforce it. People go too fast, and then when we enforce it, well, we didn't mean give it a ticket. So it's difficult. But we all have to, as drivers, be courteous. Think about the other drivers on the road. Go by the speed limit. And just try to take care of one another.
I know that we would all agree that we absolutely believe in traffic enforcement, except when it's us, right? So, because we just, you don't realize it. Sometimes you don't keep your eye on the speedometer all the time, because then you wouldn't be looking at the road.
No, and most of the traffic complaints that we get are from citizens themselves, and it's usually the citizens that live in that area. And so it's a dilemma for us. It really is.
But you guys do a great job. You do. You guys do a great
We
job.
try.
I don't have any police in my family, and I have to say that I cannot imagine putting a gun on every day and going out there and not knowing if you were going to come home because of something that happened to you while you were on patrol. And I don't know how you all do what you do, but I know that we are all very grateful that you do, because if it weren't for people like you and your police officers who are willing to do that, who knows what this community would be like. So I think we all should give our sheriff a big round of applause and thank him for everything he does for us today.
Thank you very much.
So, you want to say these
Thank you very
last
much.
words for the camera?
Well, thanks for having me today. It's been great. Anything we can do to get our message out, especially about identity theft and prescription drug fraud and synthetic drugs, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to your viewers, talk to listeners, talk to the residents of Broward County, not only District 3, but it's about education and getting the message out.
And the sheriff is, I know you are always ready, willing, and able to talk to groups about any of these things. And I want to thank Sheriff Lamberti for being my guest today on Coffee with Stacy. I want to thank you all for my live audience for being here. Next time I do this, we'll have parting gifts for everybody. You know how, when Ellen DeGeneres has a guest and they wrote a book, everybody gets a book? Well, I haven't written a book yet, but we'll figure it out for next year. You can have a sponge. You can have a sponge. Anyway, thanks again. Thank you very much. We'll be back with another edition with Coffee with Stacy in the near future. Have a good day. Thanks.